Hello. My face is still in the corner. Oh my god, this is so large. Welcome to another episode of Ouch My Money. Ouch My Money. I guess this one will make a lot of on our viewers. I think the music was scared on because of my double chin. Who's up? Who's up?
Oh, hi.
Hi Chunho, welcome back to a sunny/rainy Singapore in December.
Oh, it's December already. Oh, yeah, okay.
It
That's
is
quick.
December. It's 8th December now.
Shucks. So
星
fast.
星，我的朋友。Anyway, Chunho is very tired because he's still suffering from jet lag. Look at his tired face. But I think you lost weight.
I lost weight.
I think so. Looks like it. Hello, jugglers. Hey, we are in red today, or different
Hey,
versions of
you
red and
you
orange.
change your doorbell, is it?
Didn't. Still the same one.
It goes tung 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 instead of
Um,
tok tok tok
may-
tok.
Maybe because my mic changed, but so this might pick up the tung 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 instead of tok tok tok.
Yeah, I thought you changed your doorbell.
No, it's still the
Okay.
same. It's still the same table. Or maybe I should do
I
this.
thought you
the same
change your what doorbell? Change your door lah.
doorbell lah. Doorbell. Is this better?
Yes, and I wanted to say the same thing also because before Douglas bring it up, I was thinking the same thing. What happened? How come the sound changed? Then I didn't know whether you were knocking
the
or
mic.
whether a person come in or
I
yeah.
think it's the mic. Was it was it much softer, or was it just like the sound itself changed?
It was much softer and it went tung 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 tung.
Okay, maybe next time I should do this right in front of the mic because I think mine is a directional mic. So it's right now picking up sound from here. So, but my knocking is here. So it doesn't pick up. Maybe next time I do this. Is it louder? Apparently not. It's not loud. I'm just gonna say knock, who's there? I'm just gonna say knock, who's there? That's all. Knock, who's there? Is this what we're gonna say? Is this what people say when they are in the metaverse? Knock, who's there?
No.
And that's the topic.
That's the question. Is that the question that Rachel is gonna ask? Because actually,
Oh yeah.
because today's topic.
Go, Rachel.
Okay,
Rachel,
so
ask
the
question.
The $1 million question that I'm supposed to ask is, what is the metaverse? Because I heard about it.
Metaverse.
Yeah,
today
I heard
the
about
ladies are
it,
going
but
to
I
keep quiet. Yeah, because I have a vague idea of what the metaverse is, and that's where I suppose virtual currency and cryptocurrency is king there, or queen, or whatever you want to call it. But I have very little knowledge of that. So today, Mr. Midwest Sure Shot and Mr. Hollister is going to talk about it. What is Midwest Sure Shot Shack? Oh my god. Party. Your name is too long. Can you please shorten it? I'm just going to call you Sure Shot. That sounds very horrible, but okay, Sure Shot you are today.
Sure shot shack.
Sure Shot Shack. Mr. Hollister. Okay, does anybody want to give us a context of what metaverse is about, or are there like multiple metaverses out there, or is there only one metaverse, or what? How does it work? How does this thing work?
Let me just quickly. Well, let me actually okay. Let me just start. Okay, Douglas can chip in as I go along. Well, the metaverse is just a name that's created, but basically it means a virtual world. It's just a virtual world. Okay, metaverse is something that was eventually somebody coined that name. So it's a new word, this metaverse, but what it really means is a virtual world. The best way to describe it is if you have read the book Ready Player One, which is also a movie. If you don't want to read the book, go and watch a movie. You watch a movie, you kind of figure out what a metaverse is. I mean, the best place to visually see how it will work is in that movie, Ready Player One. Now, whether cryptocurrency and blockchain, all those things, that is not necessarily needed in the metaverse. Okay, it just happened that people are using it in the metaverse, but it doesn't mean that cryptocurrency and blockchain were created to support the metaverse. The metaverse can actually exist without blockchain and cryptocurrency. Okay, they're separate. They're two separate entities. So there are already several metaverses, and you're right, Denise. You're actually saying, are there many metaverses at the moment? Yes, there are. There's several virtual worlds that's out there. Actually, many, not several. Okay. One of the biggest game previously that a lot of the people were playing, especially in 2019, I think, or 2019, was Fortnite. Have you heard of the game Fortnite?
Yes.
Fortnite is considered a metaverse. Okay, although is not okay. The players actually they will have an avatar, and then the avatar they'll make the avatar in there, move around the world, and then play, react to stuff. That world is actually, in a way, considered a metaverse. If you play role-playing games and those stuff, last time we actually play some, there are role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, and all those things. There is this whole virtual world that there's an avatar or there's these characters that we play and all those things. Actually, those are also a metaverse, but those metaverses are actually 2D. But going forward, the metaverses that we are looking at are going to be more 3D. And there are two metaverses that a lot of people have been interacting in recently was Minecraft and Roblox. You know Minecraft, right? Minecraft?
Mm.
Play Minecraft before? Have you all gone
No,
to
but I know
Minecraft?
what is that.
But you know what it is.
Just know the
Minecraft
name,
is
never
very-
played before.
Okay. But Minecraft is a little bit more pixelated. I mean, it's like Legoland like that.
Mm.
You go and watch a Lego movie, right? It's like that. It's like one block built together, but you can actually build a big world.
Mm.
And actually, people build cities in there, but they also create games. Roblox is the same, also very blocky one, a mix of a lot of blocks, but a lot of young people are actually creating games in Roblox. Yeah, so those are actually virtual worlds, and they are metaverses in a way. You know that a lot of people
Okay.
actually go. Okay.
Yeah, carry on, sir.
Yeah, you know a lot of people actually, especially Roblox, kids actually who are playing the games, they actually go in there and interact with other people in there, and then they talk as if like they're in the real world, chit chatting and all those stuff. No, it's you become the avatar, the characters, and they interact, and then they chit chat and talk and all those things. You should go on YouTube and watch some of these Roblox gamer, and then you see all the millennials and the Gen Z going in there and chit chat. They're like, and the way they talk is sometimes quite hilarious. Okay, so those are metaverse. Yeah, Douglas, you want to say something?
Okay, so to formally contextualize this, what Chunho has described are gaming environments or certain environments where people go in alternate environments to interact. Okay, what makes the metaverse, okay, technically different from all these gaming environments? Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about these environments. These environments, number one, are 3D environments. Okay, meaning there is left, right, up, down. That's depth lah. Okay, it's not a flat environment. And the second thing is the concept of a metaverse is an alternate universe, okay, that we create in a digital space, which is called the internet, okay, as opposed to the information that we're getting. Now, what makes this concept of metaverse now, okay, that Facebook is talking about, that all these people are jumping on the bandwagon, okay, is the concept of persistence. Okay, unlike games where the environments only exist when people go in to play. Okay, if everybody stop playing the game, then that environment is gone. Okay, the metaverse is a permanent, persistent 3D environment that is created as an alternate universe to this reality that we have. What does that mean? It means that we can go in and out. Okay, it's like going on tour. So you can almost imagine that the metaverse is another location that you can visit, except that it's not on this physical world. So you can say, I'm going to go on tour, and at any point in time, you can enter the metaverse, you can exit the metaverse. Anyone can enter and exit the metaverse, have an experience, a 3D virtual experience, interact with each other, do things, okay, as if you are really going to, like Juno went to London, right? So imagine there was this metaverse that's called Alpha Centauri. Okay, and then we say, okay, I'm going to go on tour and I'm going to go on holiday, spend a 10-day vacation in this place. And then you put on, okay, it doesn't exist right now, okay, but then you put on certain gadgets and all that, okay, and then you immerse yourself in that environment for 10 days. Okay, so that is ultimately a possible scenario. Okay, we're not there
Then
yet.
what happens to our physical body? Does that mean we
No,
don't
I
need
was
to
going
eat
to ask that also.
No. So
We will waste
physical
away.
world will still exist to support, because the thing is, the metaverse is still a virtual environment. It is still run by computers that exist in this physical world. Okay, it is still programmed by people who exist. It's powered by electricity, so it is run this physical world. Okay, except as a virtual world. Okay, it's just like the internet, right? Okay, the internet physically does not exist. Okay, what exists are computers and servers and networks. Right, then we interact with the information that's being transmitted. The internet, there's no physical existence. Okay, but we chat with people on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We share pictures. We watch movies, videos on YouTube. None of this is physical. Okay, so imagine that we go into a 3D environment and do all these same things. Okay, that's number one. Okay, it doesn't physically exist. It's a virtual environment. Now the thing about virtual, what makes this virtual environment interesting is that because it is virtual, anything can be created. Okay, that sometimes we cannot create in this physical world. That's number one. The things that we experience, that we go in and experience in this virtual environment, can be created. The virtual environment can be created. It doesn't have to mirror our physical world. Okay, we could be in the metaverse, okay, flying around without gravity and all that. Okay, because it's made up whatever ideas we have. The bodies, our avatars, okay, that we utilize, okay, doesn't have to be in human form. Okay, except that right now a lot of it is in human form because it's what we can relate to. Okay, at some point, if somebody decides to, hey, if we want to go in and be a superhero, or be an animal, or be an alien, or be whatever it is that somebody can imagine, okay, that's what can be created in a virtual environment. So we call this virtual environment that's persistent. So the key is persistence. We can go in and out anytime. The things in there are persistent. Okay, we can go in, okay, and it has already happened. We can go in and buy a property. Okay, and that property is sitting on some piece of land somewhere that has a location that we can travel to and go into that building. There can be stadiums, there can be whatever, in whatever form, we can go and visit. We can go in and go to concerts, go to museums.
So, Douglas, so I just want to add, yeah, while I'm saying those are the games, Roblox and Minecraft, the key thing when you say persistent, maybe for some people, they have their own time, and the time continues. Those metaverse, they have their own. Not, I mean, you leave the place doesn't mean that things stop. Not like
Yeah.
games. Previously, other games that you play,
okay.
you go in and then okay, you stop, you pause the game, and then you come back, you
Yeah.
continue. No, in the
Correct.
metaverse, it continues. So
Yeah,
even
so it's
in
an
Roblox,
alternate
right,
reality. Yeah, that
it's an alternate
continues.
reality.
That's what I mean.
So in the game Fortnite, that's why the Fortnite is considered a metaverse, because you go in and play, you have avatar, you go in and play and everything, and then you stop, you go and sleep, things still happen, no? Other players are playing and all that, and the environment continues going on.
Mm.
And if you
So
stop
somebody can
playing,
come and develop.
yeah, and if you stop playing, because there's a timing one, no, for they have seasons, not the 4 seasons as in like no TV episodes seasons. They will come to an end, no. If you don't complete your whatever you need to do, it will end. Then suddenly there's a cliffhanger, and then you have to wait for it to restart again. So it
Okay.
continues on. So it is a universe that has its own
Sorry.
own.
What will end? The universe will end? That universe will end?
That season ends,
Oh,
and then you
oh,
come
the
in. So that's
No, so
that's
you imagine
Fortnite.
you imagine it like how this reality is, except
Yeah.
that it is in a virtual world.
Yeah.
So things will
So it's a s-
continue to happen.
Yeah, things continue to happen even in Roblox. Those games that they created, you can go in and you can come out, and you don't go in and stay there and continue doing things. Other players who are in there, they continue building and they'll be ahead of you. And
So let's say,
Yeah.
give you a simple example. So let's say it's a virtual environment where we go in and in this virtual environment, what we get to do is build houses, build our ideal home, whatever the ideal home looks like. Okay, but in order for that to happen, there's land that you need to choose. So that there's mountain, there's valley, there's ocean, there's beach, everything, desert, whatever it is. But you get to choose. Okay, you get to choose a piece of land. When you chop it, let's say you chop it, and then you start building things on it. Okay, so then you say, okay, you spend 3 days building, okay, whatever, you buy things, you buy things in the virtual world, you buy bricks, you buy cement, and now in the virtual world, because you have this skill to build a building. Okay, so let's say you spend 10 days building your house, decorating it and all that, and then you decide, okay, I'm going to take a break. Okay, and then you come out and then you live your life, and 1 month later you say, okay, I want to go back there and continue building my house. But let's say in this environment, okay, it's wild west kind of environment where people can
Take
see what you
over.
have done, right? Like it, and then they can steal it.
Oh, so you
Let's
can
say
like
lah,
break
okay.
in and whatever it is.
Then yeah, so then they can. So you might have, when you go back there, you might have your house completed already, and somebody else living inside because they're like, oh, it's almost done. Let me finish it and move in. Okay, so it's like you left that place and you came back to that place, and
But
somebody
even
else.
even if you stay in that place, how do you prove that that place is yours?
Yeah, so that's where other things will. So that comes that's then that is determined by how the environment is programmed. What are the rules
Yeah.
governing the environment? That is proof of ownership. Okay, that if you transact on a piece of land, that piece of land belongs to you, and that's where other technologies
NFTs and
come
things like
in,
that.
like
Yeah.
cryptocurrency, that allows you to lay claim to that piece of land because it's been legitimately transacted and it belongs to you. Okay, so it
It-
prevents other people. So it's how it's implemented.
Yeah. So it depends on the what they're going to use. But I think some of these metaverses may use blockchain. May use, not necessarily they need to use, but blockchain is a technology that they can write on,
Mm.
so that there is a form a way. What do you call it? Blockchain is
Encrypted.
not encrypted. It's not the encrypted part. It's the part that you but whatever it is, it actually says that piece is yours and whatever stuff. I can't remember where is it. But the thing is that okay, so if you're clear, are you clear about what the metaverse is now?
Yes, but it does sound
Virtual
like somewhere.
reality or
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
does sound like somewhere where you will be kind of addicted or forced to go back very often, because like what Douglas says, it is possible that your things get taken away or etc,
Mm.
right? So
Yes.
so then it will be you have to go back and take care of it,
Well,
otherwise
it,
it
So it
will be taken
it
away
depends
from you,
on
right?
how the metaverse technology, what kind of technology they
Yeah,
use
I
to
understand,
power
like
it.
every metaverse probably have their own rules and
Yeah.
governance and
So
all that,
if you
right?
have a blockchain, you know that if you have you use a blockchain and then you actually, blockchain, they actually is block and pieces. And if you actually purchase a thing, it is one block will say that this is yours. The transaction is stated there, and then you can't change it one unless until subsequently you sell it, and then there's another block that says that you sold it, and that is a public, everybody can see one that. And not somebody can come in and say they stole your place, but the thing is that you actually lay claim to it already, and it's actually locked in into the block saying that you own it already, so nobody can really steal it.
Yeah, but the thing is that I realize that this metaverses, it also explains the rising popularity of NFTs and cryptocurrency, right? Because
mm,
Right.
then, with the security, whatever that is called, that is behind the blockchain technology and the cryptocurrency technology, it helps people to make sure that what is theirs stays theirs, lah, and not,
correct.
Yeah.
So the
yeah.
thing is, all the underlying the thing is today there are a few things that is in favor of this happening. Number one is a lot of the technologies that we need are available. Okay, to do all these transactions tracking and auditing and everything for security for purpose, to legitimize things. So we have cryptocurrency, we have blockchain and cryptocurrency and NFTs and all that. Okay, that become enablers. Okay, technology to enable these things. Okay, so at the so and the thing also, our computing power, okay, our ability to generate graphics and all these other things and virtual environments has also reached a point where it is fast enough to make that experience a meaningful one. You don't want to go in and interact with blocks. Okay, you want to
Mm.
interact with as real, have an experience that is as real as possible, even though it may not be of this planet.
Yeah, I
Okay,
get
if you
what you
want to
mean, but
interact
isn't
with
it?
alien, at least you see the real monster. So you can go into horror environments. You can go into things
I
that
know that
you
you're
you.
safe and things like that, lah. Okay.
I don't know whether you'll be safe or not.
Yeah, but I think isn't it very interesting, like how we want to build. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Of course, there's all the technology that is behind it. But what I'm seeing is how as humans, we want to create something different, called the metaverse. Like you say, we can have aliens or monsters or dinosaurs inside,
Mm.
and it will be cool because they're not physically harming us, right? So if we get eaten up in the metaverse, we probably need to remake ourselves,
But
but we are not physically
okay,
harmed.
then yeah, but then it also depends. Okay, when we talk about physically harm, we usually refer to our
Bodily
physical
harm.
being.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, but you must remember that we have our spiritual, intellectual, emotional
Yes, correct,
aspects,
correct, correct. That's what I
which
mean.
can
But
be
the thing is that it's very funny how humans um make something that is online, and we try to make it, like you say, as real as possible. You get what I mean or
because
not? It's like we're trying to make it
because it may
emulate
not
the real
because
world.
it may not be things that we actually get to experience in this physical reality, or it may be difficult. For example, we can't fly. Okay, we can't like flap our wings, or we don't even have wings to fly. But
Yeah,
there
yeah, yeah.
could be a metaverse that gives us wings, that gives us
Yeah, I get what you
ability
mean.
that
Yes,
that
yes.
that defy the physical rules or laws of the reality that we live in, and that's what makes it very interesting. Okay, and now compounded with the fact that you can buy things and all that. Okay, so if you could go into the metaverse and buy a product, okay, that you don't need anymore in the real world, for example, a
Mm-mm-mm.
branded whatever bag, okay, and you
Mm-mm.
can go into the metaverse and be able to get things that are far more interesting than this branded stuff. Okay,
Mm-mm.
and then create an avatar or a reality that is far more interesting than this reality that we are living in. wouldn't that be a very compelling experience to get?
I think it is, but then as with almost everything is a double-edged sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is very compelling, but I cannot imagine how somebody is going to be able to manage both universes
But you see,
well.
okay, let me give you a scenario, okay?
Mm,
Let me give you a scenario when most people are not working or earning a living. That means they spend 9 to 5 to go on job to get the money to pay for other things. Okay, so the other times when they're not working to get this money, so you've made the money already. Okay, talk about this current reality. Okay, what do people spend money on? They'll buy things, right? They'll buy things. They'll buy
Yeah, or
cars.
they play
They'll go
games,
out. Yeah, they will buy things to have an experience of. Right? They will go out and then they'll dress themselves up to be seen. They will go to parties to socialize. They will travel to experience the world. So that's what people are spending money on in this physical world right now, right? Buying things, getting experiences, and everything else in between. What if there was an alternative to buying things, traveling in this physical world? What if I could go into a metaverse and travel to places that don't exist on this planet? What if I could go into a metaverse and buy things that I will never get? So this time, instead of going traveling, instead of buying that branded bag, instead of doing things and getting experience in this physical world, then I just channel this time into the metaverse, into the environment where I can be anything and anything that I want to be. Okay, I can be whatever. I can look physically, look however I want to look. I can meet I can go and physically in the virtual world meet anyone that I want to meet. I can flirt with them, have sex with them. I don't know. Everything and anything is possible.
And create the experience in the metaverse.
Right.
correct,
As opposed
correct.
to
The
in
one
this
I
physical
really
world.
agree with, and it may be such that, I mean, it would be interesting, right, to feel what it is like to fly and meet whoever you want to
Well,
meet,
that
etc.
is
But
from the angle of a very positive way of
yes,
saying,
correct.
going
All
in.
I'm hearing right now is this is like with everything else. That's why I say the double-edged sword. If you
Mm.
are, I would say that if you are a balanced person or etc., then you will be fun. It will just be like you say, just going out shopping and all that. But like with everything else, like gambling, shopping, whatever, it's also another avenue for addiction now, basically.
Mm.
Right? I can just
Um,
so easily see how somebody can be
okay,
super immersed into that world.
well, let's not talk about whether it's addiction or not, but
I'm not
why
saying it's
a
addiction.
lot of
I'm just saying that I can see that possibility.
yeah,
Yeah.
why there are so many businesses out there that are so interested in metaverse and so hyped up at the moment is because people wants to escape,
Yeah, of
Mm.
course.
especially
That's what I mean by addiction. It's like
yeah,
drinking, gambling,
especially
digital
now
therapy.
things are getting tougher, and the rich poor gap is widening. You know,
Mm,
the poor in the real world doesn't have so much. They want to escape into an alternate world where they can be something else and they experience what they don't have. And
mm,
then the rich want to escape into. We also want to escape into an alternate world um, for something they are lacking. People will want to escape because if you look at it in social media, everybody has an alter ego, and people will
Mm.
escape to the metaverse to be another alter ego, and this is going to be a little bit more immersive, and it's going to be
mm, mm, mm.
stuff, and you
No,
actually
no,
get
it's not a little bit more immersive, okay? It's not a little bit more
yeah.
immersive. It's going to be totally immersive.
Correct.
So
You see, totally immersive.
so
The more
from
immersive it is,
the
the
from the angle, I mean, from what we have seen on social media, people like so into social media and having this whole alter ego and all those things. You know that if this alternate world comes about, this virtual alternate world come about, it will attract a lot of people. And if of course if it's
of
built
course.
nicely, with a nice environment, people will jump in.
So from a business
Because
standpoint, it makes
whatever
sense
you're
to
not
have
getting
stuff
in
inside the
the real
metaverse.
world, you want to get it in there.
Yeah, so basically from a business standpoint, it makes sense to have stuff in the metaverse
Mm.
and to transact in the
Yeah. So
metaverse.
instead of physical products, you no longer need to actually create that physical product. You could create a digital product that
It's
somebody
just all
can buy.
NFTs.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be NFTs either, because NFTs are supposed to be unique things that are created. Okay, so I can create a digital non-NFT product. For example, I can create a
Is
keyboard,
that
right?
is
What?
What happened?
no? It was very jerky, so I don't know whether it's just you or it's my PC.
Okay, so anyway, so all the things that people used to buy in this physical world, the doodads, right? We buy them because it's there and not because we need them, because for whatever reason it gives us some level of satisfaction at that point in time to buy that dress, that shirt, that shoe, that pair of shoes, whatever it is. Okay, so people, if I am spending a lot of time in the metaverse, I don't need all these things anymore, right? I might not need that bag, I might not need that shirt, because I can just it doesn't matter what I wear to go into the metaverse, because I can go up. But if I go to the metaverse to dress up, then I need to buy clothes in the metaverse. I need to buy my accessories. I need to, if I want to drive around the metaverse, I'm not going to walk. Okay, I might buy my vehicles, I might buy my property. So I will be virtually transacting. I will not virtually, I'll be transacting in the virtual world. Okay, buying things, but I can't create those things myself. Somebody has to create them in the metaverse for me to buy.
So I'm curious, how can we take advantage of this hype at this point?
It's not, it's okay, it's hype that is going to turn into something a lot more
Yes, it is going to turn to reality soon.
I
okay.
wouldn't.
So
Okay,
I read something some time back lah. And it was quite interesting because I forgot who was the author or what was the context of the was it an article? I think it was an article that I read, and it said that metaverse is actually not really a place. It is the metaverse happens when the virtual world becomes more important to us than the physical world we are in. That's when the metaverse happens. When you switch into I need to get clothes in my metaverse for my avatar instead
mm,
of then it makes you think about all the movies that we have watched where all the people are like wearing
pajamas.
super shabby
no, but
clothes in
you see
the
the thing is, you see the thing is, we are doing this in the physical world anyway. How is it any different?
I'm not saying that's different or wrong or what. I'm just saying that it is a shift lah,
It
right?
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
lor,
So
that's
it
all.
so
And
it's so it will come to a point. We are not there yet. Okay, we are not there yet, but it will come to a point where we have enough technology to stimulate our senses. Okay, I was having a conversation with Chuno the other day, and some other people, okay, about smell and things like that. Okay,
mm,
and what are we? Okay, our physicality is just really a set. It's just a series of electrical impulses and chemical reactions that's happening. Okay, that gives us our bodily sensations. Okay, so
mm,
smell can be triggered, emotions can be triggered, and senses can be triggered simply by evoking or stimulating certain nerves, okay, through electrical impulses. Okay, we've just not mapped out all these things yet. Okay, can we get there? Eventually we will.
yeah, eventually
Okay.
we will. I can just imagine all of us. It's like the Matrix law. All of us is plugged in, and we we feel we do whatever it is, and it will feel as if we are doing it in real life lah.
Mm-hmm.
Just that bodily we are not lah. Bodily, like
Yeah. So what
bodily.
opportunities? Rachel was asking what opportunities are there. So imagine if this is going to be a new environment where things are possible, a lot more things are possible. Then what possibilities do you see? But the first thing really is, okay. You need to understand. You need to understand that this is driven by technology. Okay. So if you don't know technology, then you make friends with technology. Okay. But technology is only an enabler. Okay, so the key is even whatever it is, technology is only an enabler. Okay, at the end of the day, what gets created come from the thoughts and ideas that each of us can have.
It's driven by our desire
Yeah. So
to have
what moves
connection and to have
you? See, so
experience.
the question is, who is your tribe? Who are the people that you think will need, and what do they will need, and what is that need? And what can we create for that group of people? And that is a big question with a lot of possibilities, because now we are no longer confined by the physical laws of this universe.
So, Rachel,
Mm.
metaverse, when at the moment it is still in its infancy, it is still being developed, but the metaverse is going to be similar to when the World Wide Web first came about. You know, the World Wide Web, where you have the www dot something, and then you go in and then you can visit different websites and all those things. And that is where we actually went into a different world the first time. Remember, the internet has always been there. The military has
Not
been
always,
using it.
only since the 60s.
Yeah, has been there. The military has been using it, but the World Wide Web only created subsequently so that it is more, it makes it easier for it make it a more friendly
Yeah,
interface.
the technologies became available that made it easier for us to interact and utilize
Yeah.
this thing called the internet.
Yeah. How long is the whole thing? 50 years?
No,
No, the World Wide Web
so
is
from
only in the
90s,
90s.
Oh, is it? Oh my
about 30
goodness.
years.
Because I'm so comfortable here, I was like, okay, I don't want to go into the metaverse. It's
So
No, so you
when the
imagine,
metaverse starts, it
look,
will.
the four of us are here right now. The four of us are here right now doing a live stream. Okay, because we have technology, we have software, we have hardware, we have software, we have this thing called the internet that connects all of us together, and then whoever is watching on the other end, okay, so that we are connected, four of us, to whoever. Okay, so imagine this. So this is our interface. Okay, so so I'm going to introduce some terms. So this is our interface. Our interface are our cameras right now, our mics, okay, which transmit these signals into the software, which combines them together so that we can see each other in an environment on the screen. So the screen is an environment. Okay, so imagine this in a 3D space. We will still need an interfacing device. Okay, and right now the interfacing device are virtual devices like goggles and all that we put on, that we get sound, that we see things, and the environment is created in a 3D space. Now, come back to this thing that now we are interacting with each other. This is our current reality. Everything that's happening outside doesn't matter. It's not real to us because we don't know. Okay, somebody could be driving down the street. It doesn't matter because we are now in this environment. Okay, so imagine one of us, internet connection drop. Internet connection drop. What happens is then we get removed from this environment. You guys, let's say my internet connection drops, then I will get removed this environment. I will cease to exist. You cannot interact with me anymore. Okay, it's like dying lah. Okay, so we are alive right now in this environment. If I get cut off, then I am dead.
okay.
You guys get the analogy, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so the bigger virtual environment is going to be like that. We need to interface, and we need to, through that interface, that enables us to interact with whatever is in that environment. Okay, so our lifeline is that technology and that interface and that thing called the internet. Okay, if we cut it off, somebody cut our power, so we could be talking, and boom, I'll disappear. Okay, Douglas has ceased to
Died.
exist.
Gone offline.
Yeah, but but Douglas can come back again. Can come back alive again if I establish this connection. Okay, so it's just like visiting another place. Okay, we just go through a doorway. As long as that doorway is there, we go through that doorway, and as long as that doorway is open, then we can continue to interact. So, what are the possibilities that will come from that? So there's no more separation of physical, or in that sense, there's no more separation of physical reality versus metaverse reality, because it is all reality exists only in our minds.
Mm.
Reality only exists in our minds. It's whatever we experience.
Mm.
The only thing that I don't know if we'll figure out to do is to eat and shit. Eat, drink,
But
and
then
shit.
there's no need to eat and shit there, what?
Yeah, correct.
I mean, eat
But
okay lah.
bodily,
Shit
we
no
still
need
need
probably.
lah, bodily.
So we'll still go and go to toilet, eat our food, and then go back into and have that experience. We cannot, like, it's just like now we cannot have a meal together, right? We cannot have a meal together and say, wow, it's delicious. Okay, whatever. Can I taste your food? Okay, we haven't figured out how to do that yet.
So come back to your question. So there are many metaverses, and a lot of them currently that exist. A lot of them are mainly for gaming, and then they are going down the path. But the one that Facebook that's coming up with, I believe, is going to be more for social and work. So they are going to create a metaverse where you can go in and then interact with friends, meet up, and do all those stuff, and then also for working. So in place of going to Zoom and then so you can work remotely, and you actually don't have to go to the office, but you actually can create a virtual office, and then you're all in there having meetings and work together, and then do stuff, pass information digitally to each other and all stuff, instead of using Zoom, because Zoom is just 2D. Well, I don't know what is it called, but in there
It's like I'm going to work, and then you put your goggles and you sit down there.
yeah.
I'm at work in the office.
I'm at work now.
So things like that lah. So that's what it is. Facebook is likely planning for this metaverse. So
For what we can see right now, lah.
yeah, so it may evolve eventually, but basically that's what they are looking at. And for those that is gaming one, those environments where it's gaming or all those stuff, there are some people who are buying land in there, and I can see why it is a good thing to buy land in there. If it's a gaming environment where a lot of people are moving around their place, if I own a plot, then people will pass through my land, I can set up a shop there and sell things and advertise things, and I get a lot of eyeball.
Do people spend a lot in gaming? As in, like,
Yes.
because I've never
Yes.
played games. So.
Yes.
Games are a very, very lucrative.
You-
Games are
you-
set
you
up.
need to start-
Games
okay.
are set up for people to spend money.
Yeah, if you haven't played games, you need to play some games. You know that the avatars in I play Pokemon Go. The avatars in Pokemon Go, I see like every time got new thing that come out, they will have new set of clothing and all stuff. I like, why spend this money to go and dress? But then I see other players avatars, they dress them up. No, and what did they actually pay money to dress them up? No, people. Will do
Yeah,
that.
so but then I don't see the point in spending money. What, like Chunho, you play what, that game? Forgot the name. But then
Pokemon
will you
Go.
spend money there?
Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, I do. I will not spend
You-
money to dress up. I will not buy clothes to dress up my avatar. I will only dress it up with the free thing that's given. But there are some events, certain events are paid events. You can only play when you pay money to get it. Because if you don't pay money, you won't be exposed to the environment and you won't see certain things on.
So you will pay, even in the gaming environment. Wow.
Yeah. I actually pay. Last year was $5. How much is it? It's five something to buy a ticket to play in that event. And the next
Okay, usually it
event,
doesn't cost a lot. Usually it's not a lot of money.
yeah,
Okay,
But
that's
Yeah,
because
but
usually
then you're
many
doing for the
players-
masses, ma.
yeah,
yeah. Okay, and you know why it doesn't have to be a lot of money? Because there's nothing physical that is created. It's just data. You know, I make a virtual mouse I can sell, I can, if I make a virtual, I have this mouse, right? And I sell this in the physical world. I have costs, I have material costs, I have design costs, I have
Yeah.
manufacturing costs, I have all the costs, distribution costs, and everything. Okay, and then I
You
make
cannot
a profit of it.
you cannot make just one mouse. You must make a mouse for everybody who wants to buy it.
Yeah,
In the virtual
So-
world, you can just make one.
yeah. I just make one.
And everybody
I
gets
just
a
make
copy of
one,
it.
and then I duplicate forever. Okay, so I have no material cost, so I just charge my margin. So if I make
Ultimate
$5,
leverage.
yeah. So if this costs $100 and I make $10, so you will pay $100 in the real world, right, to use this because you have a need for this. Okay, but if you have the same need for this in the let's say you go to your virtual office, and then you need a virtual mouse, let's say. Okay, you don't need to pay $100 for this. You just need to pay $10. I will make the same margin, but it costs you significantly. It costs you $90 less. Okay, so then you think about it. Okay, then what this is between the physical one and it's not a lot to think about. Okay, so
Okay,
but the
interesting.
thing is, it scales. Instead of making, I no longer am limited to making the number I can produce. Okay, I can anyone you want to buy. I have no more production issues. Anyone who wants to buy, just sell another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one,
There
another
is
one.
no supply chain issue.
Yeah,
No
And
need
there's
for
no
cost, no need for
inventory.
material.
it's just
Yeah.
electricity. It's just electricity and a bunch of servers running this. So imagine if you have a virtual environment, a virtual office, simple. Okay, let's talk about the simplest thing that can happen. A virtual office, nobody needs to commute anymore. Okay, but can still have the same. Okay, that's where we talk about make it as real as possible. Don't talk about the out of world things, okay, aliens and otherwise. Let's say you just want to go into an office environment and work with each other. Okay, and have as real conversations as possible, like I talk to you face to face in the office. If I can create that virtual environment, I no longer have to commute. Okay, we still get the same experience as if we went to the office. Still have the water cooler talk. Okay, still have the I don't know whatever else happens between the tasks that we do, can still gossip, can still whatever it is that makes life interesting in the office. But you save on commute time, you save on dressing up, you save on whatever else it is. Okay, because you no longer need to buy the $500 suit that you wear to the office. Okay, you can buy the $50 suit, okay, and look good, and you can change every day or whatever that is like. And it's the same experience that you get because the experience is created in here. So is there a value proposition in there to supply to a virtual reality? A lot. So there'll be the game masters, there'll be game creators, the game masters, and then everybody else who's playing the game. So where do you want to be? Interesting, right? And it will happen. No, it will happen within our lifetime.
That's what
It
I
will
was thinking.
It will happen
It
within
will,
our
I
lifetime.
think.
You look at okay, you know what are the signs? You look at our movies today, the state of technology in our movies today. You look at the CGI, okay, that is generated for a lot of the special effects didn't exist even 10 years ago. Okay, and how sophisticated it is. We can almost using animation recreate a human. Actually, we already can. Okay, to limited reality. Okay, so that's how far we have come. Okay, as far as creation is concerned, access to technology. And by the way, right now we see things on the screen, right? In the virtual world, this environment is not like that, no.
Maybe I can reach over and touch your
No, I cannot.
whatever.
You cannot yet. You cannot yet. You cannot yet. Okay, but
Touch.
okay,
Touch
okay.
it.
Imagine this. Okay, imagine we are in a virtual world. I'm in a virtual house. I'm in a virtual house, and what I see are just my walls here and my furniture, right? But but the thing is, there's still the upstairs, there's still the kitchen, there's still the gardens and all that exists, even though I'm not there. Okay, so it's not a matter of just what we see, because all these virtual environments are there, whether we see or not. Because I can just walk out of my virtual door into my virtual garden and see my virtual pets, walk across the virtual street and visit my virtual neighbor in his virtual house. It all exists. It's not just now the 2D environments that we see is okay, everything that's behind it doesn't exist in this reality. But in the metaverse, in that 3D environment, it does. So that's why earlier Chuno was talking about so we're talking about persistence and then the timeline and all that, right? It exists virtually.
Wow,
So what do you want to do?
that's a lot.
You can actually, your avatar actually will have perfect eyesight. You don't actually have to do LASIK one.
Yeah, true that.
So
True
wasted,
that too.
right?
No, okay. So and actually, as an extension to that, right? We are talking about your LASIK right now, okay? But you talk about our other physical abilities. Okay, so you don't have to do plastic surgery. You can look however you want to look.
Yeah.
Which
You
means
don't have to-
I don't have to go on diet. I can just eat and be fat, and then my avatar will be slim
and still be
pretty.
and still have whatever ideal shape you have in
Yeah.
the virtual world. By the way, this is called catfishing.
Oh yeah.
No, but if
Where-
everybody
where
is
the- where
living in the
the-
metaverse anyway, it's not catfishing, because what you see in the metaverse is real to you,
Yeah. And
right?
everybody will look like the Korean stars. They all look
Yeah,
the
and
same.
nobody is going to be like, I want to meet you in real life because I met you in the metaverse already.
Yeah, true
So
that too.
yeah,
It's like the avatars in Pokemon Go. The men all look the same. The women all look the same. The only difference is the color of the hair and the dress and the clothing they wear.
No, so in the
Hey.
metaverse, it'll be a little bit more sophisticated than that. You can customize a little bit more.
yes.
Yeah, so it will
Okay.
happen. So it will happen within our lifetime. Because our lifetime will last another 50 years at least. Okay, for Chuno and I, about another 50 years. But for the two of you, a little bit younger than us, a little bit more than the 50 years. So can it happen in the next 50 years? For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Yep. So
Okay, it'll be
about it.
interesting.
yeah, think
Yeah.
about it. Follow what Facebook is doing. He actually Facebook has really showed. When they demonstrated the Oculus and all those things, he really demonstrated what is possible already and where they are likely heading. Just go and take a look.
Yeah. And after saying the things that I said earlier, right? So imagine this: if I no longer need to create this in the physical world, because people are not going to the office anymore, right? And they're not going to. So what is going to change about our environments? So the physical office may cease to exist, or some of the physical offices may cease to exist. Then you no longer need office suppliers. You don't need the photocopier, the tables, the equipment, and all that, because everything happens virtually. Then what do businesses do? They stop supplying to the physical world and they start supplying and creating in the virtual world. And then if we are interacting so much in the virtual world, and we are spending money in the virtual world, and we can make money also in the virtual world, then how would our ways of generating income change? Okay, we may stop doing. Okay, you may stop coaching people outside here. You might be coaching people in the virtual world. Okay, so your economic activities, okay, stop existing in the physical world and start existing in the virtual world. If I'm a painter, if I'm a photographer, if I'm a videographer, if I'm an author, whatever it is, I don't need to operate in this world. Right? It doesn't make a difference. Right? I could be painting portraits in the virtual world, which gives me a lot more freedom to create whatever I want to create versus a piece of art. I can be making furniture. I could be, I don't know. Okay, so the only thing I say that needs to persist, that I cannot imagine yet, okay, that will persist in this physical world, still need to eat, drink, and shit. Not really. Eat, drink, and shit. Okay, and for those of us who are concerned about physical well-being, right, still need to go to gym, still need to run, still need to do these things and not just eat and grow fat. But almost everything else can be created virtually.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sleepy.
Yes.
Jet lag.
Okay.
Last words
Let's
time, I
last
guess.
words this.
Let's last words this.
Go.
Go, Rachel.
She's usually the last one, she's typing it out.
Rachel, Rachel is amazed at what the whole concept of metaverse, and still not sure what to do with it. Still coming to terms with the concept, but it's something that's interesting. So it's like, but I'm sort of like at the sideline, seeing what's happening, and when things really happen, when I feel like doing something about it, just do something about it lah. Yeah, that's me lor. Yeah, that's me. Next.
Why is everybody staring at the screen?
I'm listening to Rachel talk. Of course, it's
What I
there
want
at
to
the
say
screen,
about
right?
this metaverse is, it is coming, but it is still relatively new at this point. And if you're looking at investing, doing some form of way to be involved in the metaverse or invest in this whole technology, the direction I'll point you guys to is this: the metaverse has to be powered. It's powered by technology. Look at what kind of technology is powering it, because that is the thing. What kind of hardware, what kind of software, what kind of technology is powering it? Because if it were to exist and everybody wants to be in it, look at the things that's powering it, because those are where people will be putting money into it as well. Because you have to stay. Yeah. I hope it makes sense. I don't, as I thought, I don't know whether I'm saying, I don't even know whether I understand.
He's
Okay,
sleep
that's
talking already.
okay.
Chunho
Yeah,
is
that's
sleep
why.
talking already.
Yeah, Douglas, go.
Okay. Well, it's very exciting things ahead. And it is a different reality box. It's a different reality box, and even for me, with my immersion in technology, I have a little bit of hesitation in how these things will occur as well. Okay, in terms of how I want to approach this, because like Denise was saying earlier, it's double-edged sword, and it's really tread carefully, but it is going to be a reality, and it's not something to it's not something we can run away from. So it is making choices on moving ahead. Yep. Denise.
I think my response, I realize, is similar to most of my other responses. Oh, but this is last words, right? So I guess, in conclusion, the metaverse is something that we probably, no, not probably. The metaverse is something that we need to keep an eye on, whether you want to be part of it or not, so that if the time comes, when the time comes when you have to be a part of it or get left behind, at least you know what to do. That's all. And it's a bit scary. It's a bit scary because I'm a very, oh, this is not last words lah. But anyway, it's very scary because I am somebody who really requires human connection, and for me, the thought of just being plugged in is not real for me lah. But then again, that may also be just an expansion of my reality box. So, yes.
Mm.
And
Okay,
I guess,
the last thing that I want to say is there is also the danger that it can be controlled if we are all plugged into a digital reality.
yeah, lor, like Matrix like that lor, that's what I mean. Like how
Yeah,
you know?
so
You think you're
so
the one
that
making
is
decision, but actually you're not.
yeah, because it can be totally manipulated.
Somebody's making it for you. And the
Yeah, and
person's not
somebody
you.
can
Well,
play
for all you know, we are really being manipulated in this whatever world that we
Yeah,
think
we
is
could.
real.
We are. We most likely are. Look at all the advertisements that we are, looking at.
Yeah, watching.
Like, take this new pill. It will make your boob
We
bigger.
currently we may really be in a metaverse, trying to create another metaverse, thinking that we are creating a metaverse.
Yeah, it's like the
Oh
man
my
in black, right? It's like the little aliens in the shoe locker, ma, correct or not? Then you open, then it's all the little people inside, then they're like, oh. Then at the end of the show, they open their own door, then they realize that they themselves are locked in a locker, and then they're like giants walking around. You never know.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever, man.
So it's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
What is reality? What is reality?
Reality
It all
is
only
what we
exists
make
in our
of it.
minds. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Reality
all,
is
it's
what
all
we
in
make
here,
of it.
no? It's all only in here.
Yeah, correct.
If I'm even correct in pointing, this may not exist. Okay,
Yeah, then
anyway,
after soon we can upload our consciousness into another person's body. And then I will choose Gal Gadot's body.
you
You can choose that in the metaverse.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
but it's not real what. For me, it's not real lah. Like I say, but it may also be because I was born into this reality box, ma. Right?
Yeah, what if it was? What if it was as real as
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
then I would always prefer to be in the metaverse already. Because there I will have Gal Gadot's body. Well, that's it.
Mm.
That's it, folks.
Yeah.
Off to the
Alright.
metaverse we go. Signing out from the
Right.
metaverse
I'm-
now, the current
I
2D
am off to the
metaverse.
metaverse. Okay.
Okay, guys, we will see you 2 weeks later on Wednesday for the next episode of Ouch My Money. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.
That's what we say.
Like, share, and subscribe. Nice people, like, share, and subscribe.